All right, what's up? Boys. Nuke, Chad, Jake, Luis, and Drew. What's up, guys? It's short stream today. I didn't actually finish up the swordfish grind, so we're gonna do that right now. I went to bed as soon as I got off. I went to bed literally as soon as I got off. I was still so hungover and tired from the not like drink hungover from the trip, just like drive hungover. The 18-hour drive really is wiped me out and set me back quite a bit. So we're gonna get the swordfish. We're gonna use the swordfish and have some fun today. And we're gonna talk some season 3. They dropped a little teaser trailer earlier, like 2 seconds. Full trailer tomorrow, showing off some zombies stuff. Nothing for the round based yet, but I'm assuming. Well, I actually know a little bit about supposedly what they were teasing yesterday. So let's just jump into it. Yeah, so they supposedly there's like this mode called like battle or something. I don't know. It's just like a rumor or teaser thing that people have found, and it sounds like it's kind of like grief, but also not grief. Maybe like meat, kind of. It sounds like it's a team-based mode or team-based objective mode in zombies. So we'll see if it's like grief expanded or what, or if it is just grief. But that looks like what might be coming with the launch of season 3, because we know the round-based map won't be in the game until the halfway point of the season. So I don't know, like 6 weeks for that. But there's like, yeah, some like new battle-ish type mode next week. Plus we're getting the M27 that was released yesterday as well. I think that was actually after our stream that they confirmed the M27 would be back. So not a little bad content update next week. We should be getting that. How's everyone's day going, guys? I'm gonna turn this off, but what's today? Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. How's everyone's work week going, guys? What's up, Killer Kenny? Good to see you. I hate that I have to do this every time I want to play Warzone and then switch back. Gobblegums. Okay, off. Good. All right, perfect. What's up, Fusion? Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, today just another chill day. Maybe like another like 2-hour stream or something, and just hang out kind of vibes, and then we'll talk about the new stuff that dropped a little bit earlier. It's not really like, okay, don't get me wrong, it's not like a ton of stuff, but we know a little bit more than we knew yesterday. Obviously, again, no round-based map till the halfway point, so we've got 6 weeks for that. But big vibes, guys. Big vibes. Curry finally got the Dempsey skin. Let's go. Huge GGs. Like I said, we'll do some Dempsey skin runs this weekend, maybe like Saturday. And then we'll be back on the vibes. All right, that was pretty quickly. We were like 2 zombies away from the second to last tier, so that's good. I love how they throw meat at me even though I'm off the car. That's always fun. Gotta love that. Let's see. Nuke, 13 hours down and still on home on that big grind today. Oh my god. Hopefully you've got some caffeine in you. Hopefully they're giving you the free Keurig cups to help fund that grind mentally. A 13-hour workday is insane, man. Hopefully they at least treat you right. Give you some good pizza at lunch, you know? Let me set this clock properly so we don't have an incident here. All right, and there's my free pack of Punch Crystal. We love that. Chill out day tomorrow, you wish. Hey, man. It's only Tuesday. It's only the start of the work week. Still got a few more days to go before you can really start to at least take a deep breath. Hopefully the weekend hits hard this weekend for you though, Nuke. What's up, Saw? Good to see you. Andrew worked his ass in the Beast from Beyond boss fight. Is the most annoying thing ever. 4-player, not solo. Dude, it's not a fun experience. I mean, it's not the worst, I think, boss fight of all time, but until you like have it down, and if you've got the unlimited star cards or whatever they're called, not star cards, it's Battlefront, Fate and Fortune cards, it makes it a little bit easier. But if you don't have that or you're playing on console, definitely tough. Just topped the new Ted skin of the shop. So I'm jealous, man. I've been eyeing that one because I really like the Voyek, and the skin for the Voyek goes so hard. So I've been thinking about it. Plus the Ted skin is creepy, man. I get kind of like tweaked out when I see him in Warzone running around. Techie, this is the camo that you get Nexus Horizon for unlocking all 4 of the mastery camos across Black Ops 7 and Warzone. So if you do the Genesis grind in Endgame, the Infestation grind in Zombies, holy shit, I don't even remember what the multiplayer one's called. and then Apocalypse in Singularity multiplayer, and then Apocalypse in Warzone. If you get all 4 of those, and you get this awesome camo that is universal, so whenever a new gun comes out, you can put it on immediately, which is super sick. Super sick. Almost out of work, Ramses. Let's go. Let's go. Just quit your job to be here, Chad. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's just so annoying. Rhino just cut you off, and you get cooked. GG, dude. Are you trying to do the super Easter egg, Andrew? Singularity, yeah, guys. Singularity. Did I do the speedrun Dark Ops? I haven't done the speedrun Dark Ops. I want to try the no portal Dark Ops either. I think they adjusted it to like once. I saw somebody on Twitter saying that you could actually use it one time now, because of the brain rot step for the piano teacher, something like that. But we'll eventually do that maybe at some point this week. I want to do like a Nuketown comparison video. Maybe I'll stream the entire thing and then just turn it into a video afterwards. But I want to do a video like playthrough of all the different Nuketowns and just kind of compare and contrast and maybe rate them at the end of it. Just something fun, just something light. I think we'll do a live podcast, maybe only like an hour or something later on this week. As soon as I know tomorrow the trailer drops. I don't know if we'll get the full what is it, but the full roadmap until probably Thursday, if I had to guess. It could be tomorrow, but as soon as we get the roadmap, we get some more intel on what's going on here for season 3. Jeff and I will talk about it. I'll fire that up and then get your guys' thoughts and opinions as well. Made you do the portal one last night, and you can teleport and you use it for the piano. Okay, cool. Okay, so you get 1 teleport. That's not too bad then. I mean, you can really get a lot done on these lower rounds. Why is there a zombie? Oh, it must have been one of like the zombies that are laying around on the ground. Like, why did that happen? Okay, I see what's going on here. Saw the 2 Ricky skins are your most used and Faye, but these 2 Ted skins they dropped. You just had to cough as well. Dude, the most recent one, I'm telling you, like, it looks, not only does the Ted skin look really good, but the Mastercraft is so clean for the Voyek. And I'm not on the bundle grind this year. If I'm on anything this year, it's the yuck, Death Perception. If I'm on anything this year, it's typically just Gobblegums for like DLC days and stuff, but that one might have me in a little bit of a chokehold because I really like the Voyek Inspect, or the Mastercraft for it. And then also the Ted skin's actually pretty hard. And Ted was my most used op at the start of the game. BO6 maps were better so far. Am I the only one? Yeah, you might be the only one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think there's a single BO6 map that's better. I mean, Terminus is probably better than this map, but everything else is kind of eh. Like, what really brings Citadel down for me is the fact that the story was awful. Story, like the craft, like craft was just there to be there. There was no reason why craft needed to be on Citadel. That was just that was so odd. That was like, I thought they were gonna do so much more with that, and they just did not. And that's okay. But when's the intel drop? They already released like a little snippet of a trailer. If you guys want to know more about it, I can definitely tell you guys. I mean, I don't have all the information on it, but just what I've heard through the grapevine, that there's like a battle mode potentially coming. I think they teased it in today's little mini intel drop with a trailer coming tomorrow, where it's like all the zombies have different eye colors, which is very odd, but I think it's like a team-based, I don't know if it's objective or more grief style mode coming, but there's definitely, I think, a new mode that'll be dropping in season 3 at the launch, along with probably, if I had to guess, Ashwood survival. I would think, at least. I don't think they'll do Nuketown until much later on in the year. And by much later on in the year, I mean maybe season 4. $53 dog teleport, 54 twins cutscene, boss fight flips to 55. Dude, that takes forever, man. You have to basically go to the I mean, that sounds about right though. They basically made that so you have to get to the health cap in order to complete it. What's up, Jeb? How are you? Still waiting for Blackwater Lake? Me too. Me too. I miss playing around Blackwater Lake. I wish that was one of the first ones they added in, but I get what they did. I mean, they added in Exit 115 and Cosmodrome as the first survival maps because it's more, you know, it's the farthest POIs from spawn, which is interesting. Insane that we don't have any augment profiles yet. I totally agree. I like they should have at least like 5 different classes that you can make for augments, and I can see where it'd be hard, but at the same time you can save and quit and change it mid-game, so it's not like it seems like it might be impossible. Loki happy that carry forward weapons are only coming to zombies doesn't really mesh with the vibe of MP, feeling like a throwback to BO3/4. I agree. I think it's going to be cool to have some of those in the next season. I wonder if they'll do like events or zombies themed events where they'll give away some camos and some weapons. But we'll see. We'll see. Nuketown clear. I think Nuketown, I'd rather play this than Citadel, honestly. Citadel has not aged very well. The Tomb hasn't aged very well. I don't even like Shattered. I hate Shattered. I really dislike Shattered Veil as time has gone on, too. Reckoning, I think, still can compete. I like the verticality of it. I like the jump pads, the launchers, and then the elevators are pretty sick, too. Gorg Effects is alright. But this Easter egg is actually... I like it, but like Citadel's Easter egg just doesn't make sense to me. It's basically just get the swords and the incantations and go from there. They're not very good. I think Terminus will probably end up being the most fondly looked upon map in that game. I think it's not... Terminus would... I think they'd all play better in this game. If you put all those maps on this game with more like the quality of life updates that they did, I think that the BO6 maps would actually age a little bit. It'd be like Botox for them. But looking back at it, like I think that... I don't know, the Easter egg on this really carries the map. And the concept's actually pretty sick. Paradox Easter egg better than anyone's in BO6. I think Terminus can hang. But yeah, I mean, when you talk about like Easter eggs making, like steps making sense and things like that, like Astro's a little bit wonk in terms of steps, but like Terminus is about the only one that actually, like, you actually feel like you're escaping the island as things are going on. Like you're repairing the, you know, the network as you go on. You get the beam smasher, you know. It makes sense. Did I hear about Blundell? I did hear about Blundell, man. That's the second studio in a year that's been shut down. I don't know what's going on with that, man. I can't tell if that's like a PlayStation issue or if it's a Blundell thing. But 0 for 2 in less than a year is really, really not a good look. I don't think they've done... Not to shit on the guy, but I don't think he's done anything since BO4. I would like to see maybe them reintegrate him to zombies. It'd be interesting though. Imagine if he came back to zombies and like nothing really changed. It was all kind of the same. Like, what's the excuse then? Blundell's back in the studio. What's the excuse? Is it Treyarch? Is it Activision? Like, what if he came back and it was still kind of shit? Everyone, like, you know, there was no general consensus that it was just as good as BO3. I think this would be the perfect opportunity, though, for them to take a look at him. Me, personally, if I was in charge of things, I would definitely be... I'd have Blundell. I'd take a look at him. Especially with the 20th anniversary coming up, I think that would make the most sense to start bringing back some of the old guys. Again, they probably won't do that. I hope they do. I don't want to say that they won't do that, because I feel like there's a chance for everything, but definitely not very likely, in my opinion, that they would take a look. Although, what do I know? I think he might, and I don't know the guy, but I think it'd be cool to see if he would want to come back for a little run it back kind of situation. Did I lose my Mars game? I did lose my Mars game. It was in the 430s. 430s, and then it wouldn't let me load back into the save file, so it was cooked after that. What's up, Muffles? How are you? Was there a zombies vid today for the drops? There was like a 3-second teaser. It appears to be a new mode coming. I don't know. To me, it sounds like it's like a Grief expanded type of thing, or like a Grief 2.0 or a Grief rework from what the birds have been saying, what I've heard through the grapevine. So we'll see what happens. But it looks like there's like multiple different zombies with different colored eyes on Astra and other maps, so it might be something where you do have that sort of like grief mode. Wondergat just chilling in the middle of the truck, like, well, I mean, I can say that about every Wonder Weapon. I mean, Shattered Veil has the Ray Gun Mark II for no reason, that's just there. The Wonder Waff for no reason, that's just there. There's no explanation. Ice Staff on the Tomb, Jet Gun in Liberty Falls. Even the Beam Smasher. Beam Smasher is a little bit less of a case there, but you can hate on this all you want, Andrew, but it's not going to mean that it's any worse than probably the majority of maps of BO6. Tell Blundell to come back and put the fries in the bag. BO7 is a solid story. BO6 made more sense in terms of story. Has not had a solid story? I totally disagree with that. I was listening to the character quotes last night. I think his name's Tal. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Talum compiles all the different character quotes between all the characters, interactions on the maps for every single map, and I listened to all of them from Ashes of the Damned, Astra Malorum, and Paradox Junction, and they're so far, like, they're so much better than last year's. Oh my god, last year's were so generic. Terminus was off to a good start, and then I think the voice acting strike definitely hit him pretty hard. But It's not even close. The twins, the story of the twins and the warden alone are just 10 times better than anything that they gave us last year. Because none of anything mattered last year. The only thing that mattered was the fact that you get to the end of Reckoning and they end up in the Dark Ether. Like, everything else pretty much just doesn't matter. I don't think there's a canon ending for it either. Blundell introduced no point system, added armor, loadouts, changed the perk system, added super spurs, boss spam. Most of those systems were just slightly tweaked for Cold War. But no, the character quotes and the dialogue are far and away 10 times. Like, they're leaps and bounds better than anything we had last year. It's still to be seen, like, what they're gonna do with this story. Like, I need them to start explaining why, you know, Primus and Ultimus, why those characters are needed for the Warden's plans and shit, but I'm sure we'll get there in time. To be fair, they've never really had great spacing in terms of their overall storytelling. Like, if you look back at Black Ops 3, like, Monty was technically introduced in the Giant. Like, there were references to him and shadows, but there was never, like, we didn't hear from Monty until the end, like, literally the end of the Gorod Krovi Easter egg. So, I mean, that's you know, that's pacing and spacing right there. They did have the Monty trailers and the character trailers in between Gorod and Revelations, which helped a lot, but yeah. Pacing was a little bit wonk back then. This is the worst modern zombies. But I cannot disagree with you more, dude. I think you're just jaded at this point. I think you're not going to be able to budge in the opinion. I don't see how this is I don't see how this is like if you're going to compare it to The Tomb or Liberty Falls, this is so much better in terms of like the actual, like the storytelling. The Easter egg is 10 times. Like, the Tomb's Easter egg made absolutely no sense. The Tomb's Easter egg is literally just nothing. Like, literally nothing. Liberty Falls' Easter egg, I guess, makes sense in the context of BO6, but not. It didn't really progress the story any further. Both Panos and Blanchard ended up at Reckoning, but it didn't go anywhere. Take away the Easter egg? Dude, okay, this map with the teleportation, that's something we haven't seen in Zombies before in terms of the ability to have two of the same maps essentially in one. So if you do take away and you strip away the Easter egg, just the idea of the teleportation, being able to have two areas. Again, Andrew, if this wasn't Nuketown, if this literally wasn't Nuketown, I guarantee you people, like, this would be like an 8 out of 10 map for people if the location itself just wasn't Nuketown. These aren't these are Requiem. Yeah, I know that it's not Primus or Ultimus, but I'm just saying Primus or Ultimus because nobody's given them an official name yet. So what does Liberty Falls and The Tomb do better than this besides it just not being Nuketown are my questions. What's the draw for either of those maps? I guess the Dark Ether Nexus is cool. Like, you won't have me fighting that. I do like the Nexus. Any one of Vanguard Zombies maps are significantly worse than this map. I mean, that's true. MWZ is significantly worse than this map too, especially once you get through all the content. What is Battle? Battle seems to be like a degree-free work. I don't know much about it. We'll obviously find out more tomorrow, but I feel like they don't have any personality. I think that their personality, if you actually listen to the character quotes between the OG4 and the Requiem crew, they do give them a lot more life. Maya is definitely the most lively of all of them, but like Carver is starting to kind of step out a little bit, especially when he's tweaking on Rick. Dude, Richtofen they actually, like, you don't really hear it very often if you're a solo player, but Richtofen's a fucking menace in this game. I like the way that they've written him. You know, it's kind of canonically correct. D-Machine have a similar concept. D-Machine had a similar concept, but again, like the teleportation didn't really. It put a filter over the map essentially, whereas this is a completely different play space. I could be wrong, but I'd be willing to bet that the play space doesn't change on D-Machine. It's just a filter that goes over it. The twins are great on this map too, Andrew. That's what I'm saying. Andrew's just really, really jaded about this. I don't see how this is like. I think it's everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I think it's almost objectively incorrect to say that this is any worse than The Tomb or Liberty Falls. In fact, I mean, even with the gameplay systems, I feel like that just alone separates them both. So again, from a map perspective, Easter egg is way better. The twins and the story of this map are way better. The quest for the Blundergat, whether you like it or not, is actually way better than the Liberty Fall. Liberty Fall. The jet gun quest might be around the same. No, I still think the quest for the Blundergat, whether you like it or not, I don't agree with the no lore for the Blundergat. I think that the quest could have been a slightly better, you know, if you had tied in more lore for it and stuff. But I mean, the ice staff literally just came out of the wall. Like, I don't. It was the ice staff literally just came, like, just appeared and floated out of the wall. Literally just appeared out of a wall. I don't see how that's any worse than the Blundergat. Especially when you have to go back in time and then you come back to the past or the future and it's there, upgraded. That's a pretty cool step. As somebody that likes the Tomb and likes Liberty Falls and definitely enjoys BO6, like, that's not even... Again, I think that's just... I think it's disingenuous to say that... Again, the Blundergat not having any lore definitely is ass. That took points off the map for me. They should have tied it into Mob of the Dead better. They should have tied it into the Warden better, but... Let's not act like the ice staff didn't just pop out of the thin air and that the jet gun was just lying around, pieces laying around, which actually the jet gun does make. The jet gun makes a little bit of sense. And we have more augments in BO7 too. Yeah, I won't compare augments and things like that. That's just a fundamental gameplay difference. I mean, again, you can say this is more polished than BO6, but I don't think you could give that to the map. Being totally fair, I don't think that you can give gameplay mechanical updates and refinement from game to game. I don't think that should totally go towards, I don't think that should go towards giving points to a map. I think that should just stay in its own lane. Okay, nice. Like, even Dempsey talking to Vaetherion, like, that's sick as fuck. Radhounds are more enjoyable than the mixed Doppelgast, amalgams, and vermin and parasites. It's close. The boss enemies are there. I think they could have gotten more points for me from the Radhounds had they had done Hellhounds on the nuked version of Nuketown. I don't think that would have been a hard ask to get. I mean, they're the same enemy. You could have just given you could have just control seed. I know it's not control seed, but you could have just brought over the fire zombies from Firebase Z. I think that would have made some sense for that version of that. I think one more. Let's go. I think one more variant of the Hellhounds, and then like maybe the Acid Gat could have really gone a long way for this map. I think it would have made a lot of sense. This is far better than Liberty Falls. So I like Liberty Falls. Liberty Falls is one of my favorite maps last year, which is crazy to think about when you really think about it. Because I was watching somebody play it last night on stream, and I was like, man, this doesn't even look like a zombies map. But I do enjoy the gameplay loop of Liberty Falls. But yeah. Paradox Junction is really solid for casual play. It's a great time in the egg. I totally agree. But like, again, if you want a map like Der Eisendrache, or that's when it's like, I totally understand where you're being upset with this map. I totally get that. But if you're gonna, like, again, why weren't we upset about the Giant then? Because the Giant, like, that's not true. The people were actually pretty upset about the Giant when that came out. I remember my buddy was like, why am I paying for a third Derice? That was 3 Derices in 4 games, and then eventually, obviously, it makes sense because Chronicles was there. We didn't know that at the time, but, you know. The fabled ice staff. Oh, why is it fabled? How do you know about this? Nobody knows. It's just there. But then again, again, the Blundergat's the same exact way. There's no explanation for why the Blundergat's here other than this is like a pocket dimension similar to Mob of the Dead, and it's good for the play space areas because it's tight quarters. I don't know if listen. I don't know. Look, hold on. I don't know if Liberty Falls is actually. Look, I don't know if Liberty Falls is really the most played map of all time. I don't know if I want to get into that yet. I don't know if I want to be confident in saying that that's really the case here. Only played Liberty Falls for daily chows. To be honest, you prefer the other maps. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this map is like camo grindy. I know we don't want that at this stage of the year, especially after a 3-month gap. I totally understand that argument, but if you're just taking this map and playing it, see, here's the thing. Last year, everybody was actually, if you go back and look at Twitter, everybody was actually low-key okay with the Tomb until there wasn't a map after Reckoning. Once people found out Reckoning was the last map, that's when people were upset. I don't really see how... Again, I'm not advocating for this. I don't want this to be a permanent, like, addition to every year where, like, we're wasting one DLC slot on stuff like this, but If this is just kind of a quote-unquote bonus map, I guess, if you look at it that way, then I don't have... it's hard to pick it. Because the question becomes, like, being realistic, would you rather have this, or would you rather have nothing? Because if you're not going to say this is a bonus map, if you're going to say that this is one of your standard maps, totally understand, but, like, here's the question becomes, like, would you rather have not had a DLC this season and gotten to next season and just waited for a bigger, more expansive map, or would you be okay with having something like this? Because it seems like they have to do, I mean, I don't know, but especially the past 2 years, it seems like they've had to do one of these types of maps to kind of get through the year without a just ridiculously long gap. The Giant was a bonus map. It really wasn't a bonus map, though. That was sold as part of the season pass. So, I mean, I guess it technically, actually, it was probably marketed as a quote-unquote bonus map, right? But, you know, when you don't have quote-unquote bonus maps anymore because there's no season pass, everything is technically free. I don't know. It's either this or nothing, man. So... I'll gladly take a map like this any day of the week. Again, if this wasn't literally Nuketown, if the location was not Nuketown, I don't think anybody would have a problem with this map. This probably would have been one of the better received maps in the modern era if it wasn't literally just Nuketown. But it's also not just Nuketown. Like, yes, the setting is Nuketown, but again, I like the teleporting back and forth is something that's new tech. We haven't seen that. So if they're going to do something like that, at least make it make sense. In terms of it's like why, you know, why you're doing something like this. So to me, like, the tomb would have been so much better, and I think I don't know if that's the right terminology there. More received. I guess if it had they had like actual, I think the tomb would have been better off without the portal animations. If you could have guaranteed that like walking through the portal would instantly take you into the Dark Ether, like how the Liberty Falls Church was, I think that you could have gotten some more grace from me on the tomb with, like, you know, continuing to push the tech forward. They should have advertised it as a bonus map. I disagree, because then you get into the situation where it's like, well, now, I mean, even confirming that there's 5 DLC maps, you're still going to get people that are like, why is this the thing? Okay, so my question is, if you don't like this map, would you have rather had nothing at all? Because that's really the alternative, in my opinion. This is something like I'm going to back this, and I'm going to support the idea of an extra map a year, even if it's lesser content added, because I've been asking for this. I'd rather have something to bridge the gap, and I get that that's what survival maps are for, but this is clearly above just a survival map cutout that we've had with Ashes of the Damned, because all of the survival maps so far are literal just cutouts of other maps. So that's my question. Is it nothing, or this map will have 6 maps at the end of the cycle as well? I totally agree. Totally agree. This will have the same maps as last year as well. But is this not better than Liberty Falls? Is this not better than the Tomb? If it meant more depth and quality for the next map, yes, you wouldn't want this map. Now, here's my thing. That doesn't not having this doesn't guarantee quality on the next map. That's the same thing as saying I'd rather have paid DLC if it means quality. Paid DLC does not mean quality. I paid $60 for the BO4 season pass on top of $60 for the game, and I got dog shit bullshit and Togger Toten and Alpha Omega. Those maps are not worth... I mean, I'm still going to pay them because I'm a Zombies fan, but objectively, those maps are not worth being part of the season pass. That's when it all started. The Giant didn't come out in BO3, we would have gotten so much hate. It's very lucky. I mean, even at the time, people were not happy about the Giant. If you go back and look on social media. I feel like they're going to scrap it, but literally promise 5 DLC maps. Maybe so. Easter egg kind of sucks. Hitting the ball back and forth is literally just lame, knowing what it probably should have been a New York map. Well, now that we know there's potential, there still is a New York map. This looks like a skyscraper for New York to me, and a cold place could potentially mean nuclear fallout of New York, so we'll see there. But the Easter egg, again, that's everything is personal opinion. Everything is completely subjective. Everyone can have their own opinions one way or another. But to me, the Easter egg, again, it fits the theme of the twins. And the twins are actually very well written, and they actually make a lot of sense. Being Samantha dies in Forsaken, and her entity is split. Her atoms are split into two different entities. One being pre-Dark Ether Sam memories, and the other one being regular Sam. Or Cold War Sam. Hot take, Dark Ether Heart clears the Corrupted Keeper, more fun and engaging. Ooh, okay. I mean, obviously, I think the Corrupted Keeper, the scale of the Corrupted Keeper is cooler than the Dark Heart, but the boss fight... Yeah, the Corrupted Keeper is really just use a shotgun to clear the panzers and then spam the bow at them. Without Gobblegums, it would definitely be a little bit harder. If there was never a New York map and leaks aren't concrete information, that's definitely partially, that's part of it too as well. Nuke to New York and Japanese temple next to volcano are actually such cool ideas for map. I mean, we won't know. We won't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I gotta get armor. I gotta get a little bit more here. Also, Devil's Advocate, Blood is Mob, and Tog is Call of the Dead, so they have similar names. Oh, we're talking about... Okay, I see what you're saying. We're talking about similar names there. I thought we were talking about the maps. Yeah, all the Ether maps in BO4 are just reskins. What's the difference between that and getting Nuketown? We saw Mob of the Dead for the second time. That wasn't really a Mob of the Dead remake either. Black Ops 4 introduced really nothing new in the Ether story. What's the problem? What was the problem? Why did nobody have a problem with it back then? Blood of the Dead, I mean, it makes sense story narrative wise, but I mean, you didn't introduce. I mean, you introduced the Magma Gat, right? You introduced the Winter's Howl for a second time, third time actually. You introduced the Mark II variants. That's something. Tiger Totem introduced the DG1, which was, I mean, storyline, that makes sense. But there's not even Primus or Ultimus on Call of the Dead on Tiger Totem. People seem to be more complacent with zero lore explanation for weapons in the past. What's up, Crash? Like, what are 5 skulls doing for the Gat? Why is the weapon, like the paralyzer, unburied? Everything has to be better than last time. I mean, the Blunder Gat makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the original Blunder Gat just being picked up out of the box, or Hell's retrieving 5 skulls around the map doesn't really make too much sense either. Sniper Waff. Maps are bigger than the size of a cereal box. I mean, not really. Like, Classified is really just 5, but with the Groom Lake. I mean, Groom Lake wasn't a new location. Blood of the Dead introduced some extra areas, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can sit there and go, well, that was really just the Alcatraz Outbreak map. Well, not Outbreak, but Resurgence map. Togder Toten introduced the lab, but I mean, that's just about it. An extra area by the ship. Alpha Omega did have the bunker. I think Alpha Omega definitely did. I think Alpha Omega probably innovated the most for all the Ether maps that came back outside of the Wonder Weapon. Free run coming back. Let's go. They actually just confirmed that. That's sick. Free run was a great mode. Cursed saved BO7 in my opinion. Cursed is cool, but I didn't even know that. What round did I end up getting to on Mars? 432, and then the game, I couldn't load back into the game save file after that. It just kept getting stuck. Up Omega is about the same size as Astra Malorum. Yeah, I guess if you're laying both maps out, yeah, Astra's like a BO1 map though, if you actually like look at it. Look, Andrew, you're not gonna get a disagreement out of me when we're talking about the Blundergat lore. There should have been, it would have been so easy to tie in the Warden and like some bit of Mob of the Dead or Blood of the Dead and how that happened. Like it's not, I don't feel like it's very hard to write in. I feel like I could come up with a compelling story for the Blundergat and why it's here in 4 hours. I think I could hit the Benjamin Franklin and come up with a story in literally 2 hours for the Blundergat to make a little bit more sense. Not gonna get that out of me. But objectively, the actual quest and upgrade quest is more engaging than at least the Ice Staff. Dark maps, settings are hard to come out good except for Terminus. Everybody loves dark. Everyone would rather have it be dark and gloomy than anything else. Want to know what map size became an indicator of quality / longevity? Very recently, actually. I think the teaser trailer might be new mode. Yeah, the teaser trailer is likely, it'll probably be some sort of like a, I mean, based on the rumors that I've heard, it sounds like it'll be some sort of like a Grief successor maybe, or so. I don't want to say like that. It could be nothing to do with Grief, but it sounds like it's some sort of like team objective mode or team mode. If ZNS came out in BO7, it would have been the best modern zombies map. I think, well, the ZNS boss fight is terrible, if we're being objectively honest. I like ZNS. I think it's probably the most underrated map of all time, but if you stack ZNS up against all the BO1, World at War, and BO2 maps, that's probably the best. I mean, aside from Origins and maybe Mob of the Dead, that's still probably the best map out of all of them. If you took Zetsubo no Shima and stacked it up against World at War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2, I think that comes in at number 3 behind Origins and Mob. Casual game sessions, bigger survival map, with an optional Easter egg and a wonder weapon at your disposal. In regards, that's a W for you. It's everybody's individual expectations is what it comes down to at the end of the day. What you want out of a map. I mean, obviously, I'd like to see something more akin to Terminus or Ashes of the Damned than The Tomb or Liberty Falls. Now here's the thing. Now if we get to like DLC 3, 4, and 5 and they're all subpar, lackluster, and there's not really any like new innovations or new enemies, stuff like that, which I've already confirmed there are going to be, then I've got some questions, but we shall see. ZNS would have probably been hated if it released now too, even though it's good. I think people are gonna hate it. I mean, people are always gonna have a problem with that. Even back then, people didn't like Zetsubo. People didn't like Shadows when it came out. People didn't like a lot of shit when it dropped back in the day. Maybe they're bringing back turn mode from BO2. They already back Grief. I guess I wonder if they would. I don't know if they would rename it something different. Battle seems interesting. It'd be cool to see turn come back, but like in a gun game format. It'd be pretty cool. Shorter main quest than any modern quest other than maybe the Tomb. Yeah, aside from like having to do all the stuff around the map, getting all the setup and whatnot just from running around the map, it is realistically just get the upgraded wonder weapon and then get your 3 cogs and you're done. So the cinematic for season 3, if you pair the cinematic with stuff that we've heard about it, it seems like there's going to be a new mode called something to do with that. It seems like it's going to be either like a PvPvE kind of mode or a indirect PvPvE mode like Grief. And just based on like what we've heard. I mean, it could be something completely different. I wouldn't take that verbatim. We don't really know, but that seems to be like what it is. If the last 3 maps are Astra level quality, where would I rank BO7 amongst the other games? If they're exactly like Astra with a wonder weapon, a new unique enemy, but there's not much depth to the map. Like Astra Malorum, I like the setting, I like the vibe of the map, but there's really not much like depth outside of Oscar, the LGM1. And even the Easter egg isn't the strongest Easter egg ever. I'd say it'd be better than BO6, better than Cold War. I think the best, probably the best modern title. I have to see how, again, it would all have to depend on the story and like how much is added to each of the maps. I think you could make an argument to compete with BO2 because of how horrible BO2 started. Like Transit and Dire Eyes, we can sit here and look at it and think like we can say that they're good now, but looking back at it, the community were not receptive to those maps at all, and that was a really dark time for the community coming off of BO1. Definitely not better than BO3. Now, if the last 3 maps are like Ashes of the Damned quality, then I think we can start having some conversations. Not maybe not better than BO3, but definitely certainly number 2 for guaranteed. But if we get 3 more Astra Malorums, better than World at War. I liked BO1. I don't think BO1 missed very often. I think potentially better than BO2 because Origins and Mob carry very, very heavily. I mean, the whole first half of the game was shit. Not better than BO3. I think better than BO4, especially if you want to go down this whole, like, I mean, how many, we can then compare, I mean, the Chaos maps are all new with new enemies and all that good stuff, but if you're comparing the Ether maps, I mean, they're all very similar to the, you know, the critiques that people have about modern maps like the Tomb, Liberty Falls, and, I mean, in my opinion, Shattered Veil and Paradox Junction 2. Those are all very similar to the Ether maps that we ended up getting in BO4. Best of the maybe like coming, if they're all Astra Malorum level, I'd say coming in around like 3, maybe. Top 3. Infinite Warfare is sneaky though. Let me catch up. Launch Plaza remastered our good maps back in BO2. BO3 is stupidly good. BO3 just, I mean, it has the benefit of 1, you get Chronicles, so that's, it basically wipes out all of BO1. Aside from Call of the Dead. Then you've got like just heat after heat after heat after heat. All the actual DLC maps in BO3 were just iconic. I'd say I'm sitting there around there. I'm sitting somewhere around like maybe like 3. Top 3. I mean, if you want to get rid of, I think you could wipe out BO1. I think BO1, I know it's a different game. I know it's a completely different thing, but like I think BO1 and BO3 are now lumped in together with each other because of Chronicles. I mean, BO3 is still on top easily. If you negate BO1 and lump that into BO3, potentially around there. I'll keep Paradox A tier map, burn you at the stake. A tier map in the grand scheme of maps? I don't know. Maybe. Origins, Darius, and Kino, those are the best zombies maps. Kino for casual runs, Darius for high rounding, and Origins being good for everyone. Oh man, we gotta fight. Ancient Evil and A9 are both top 10 maps in your opinion. I don't think any modern zombies maps makes the top 10. I don't like 9, I don't like Ancient Evil. I don't like either of those maps. I don't think that either of those maps have good gameplay flow. There's no good training spots on either of them to have fun on. Both of those maps, I mean, again, a lot of what people don't like about modern zombies saying it's too easy, both of those maps are just as easy as modern zombies. It's just sit in the corner with the Helion Salvo and then switch to the Wonder Weapon. In 9's case, I don't even think you switch to the Wonder Weapon, and in Ancient Evil's case, you do use one of the hands for the main setup, more so than the Helion Salvo, I think. So I'm not a huge fan of 9 or the Chaos map. Dead of the Night. Ew, what the fuck was that? What the fuck just came out of my mouth? What is that? Dude, like this, what? Hold on. What the fuck? It's like plastic. I don't even know. I don't know what this is or how this got here. It's like, All right, we're gonna maybe it was from the Gatorade I'm drinking. I'm just gonna assume it's from the Gatorade. That's very, very odd. All right, we're gonna move on from that. Everybody look away. That didn't happen. It was a government chip, dude. It actually kind of it looks like it could be on like a piece of a microchip. Ancient Evil Slander is crazy. Look, 9 doesn't play well to me. Like, if you're just booting up 9 to not do the Easter egg, it doesn't play well, and I think Ancient Evil is kind of the same way. Ancient Evil is probably just slightly bigger than this map. If you were to put both nuke towns next to it, like, they're kind of the same. Ancient Evil might be, it might be a little bit bigger. Ancient Evil might be on the same level of, like, Astra. Do I have a permanent retainer? No, I don't. I don't know what that was, man. Dude, that was really weird. It was like a piece of plastic. Stone? Could be stone. Is it white? No, it was like brown. I don't know what the hell that was, man. I don't know. I haven't seen that before. That's concerning. Very concerning, actually. I might have to go get that looked like. What did I have that would even be? I had eggs. It's not an eggshell. Wasn't like sausage casing or like chicken sausage casing either. I don't know what that was. We're gonna. It was like yeah, we're just gonna ignore that. We're gonna move on. Everybody look away. We're gonna move on. I'll take World at War with the customs over BO7/BO6. Nah, absolutely not. I grew up playing World at War. Very primitive. Maps are fun. But I wouldn't even... I would play the Black Ops... Well, that's not true. I don't know if I'd play the BO1 versions of the World at War maps over... I think I'd play the World at War versions of the maps rather than the BO1 versions, but I'd still rather play BO3 versions over all of them. Ugh. So maybe I should remaster or remake BO1 or BO2. I mean, we've heard, but like, see, here's the thing: people asking for like a one-to-one remake of BO1 or BO2. Like, look, I think about how many people hate this map because we've seen it before. I think about how many times people don't want remasters. We all want new, which is odd because we're also the same people that are like we want Chronicles too. So the community is just very, very odd. It had to have been part of this Gatorade bottle. World at War is dated, but still fun. World at War is World at War really is a timeless classic. Like I said, I'd rather play the BO3 versions of those maps just because that's the system that I like the most. But they're certainly, I think, better than the BO1 versions of the maps. The BO1 versions did very little to, aside from like slight graphical upgrade, to really make those maps better. I've done it since 2012. The BO1 versions of the Easter eggs, I think, are more fun to do with friends than BO3 because you actually have to, like, you know, build your way up. Where BO3 you just spawn in and you just rip gums. Masters sound nice, but they won't. Yeah, they won't perform as people think they will, especially because they won't play exactly like how the old games did, and people will be like, well, they ruined it. I mean, look at Modern Warfare Remastered. People fucking hated that game. I see the Blundell news. I did see the Blundell news. It'd be interesting to see what he would do if he was brought back to COD Zombies. I think that COD should definitely, if I was in charge of COD, I'd definitely reach out to him and be like, hey man, we got this 20th anniversary coming up soon. We're gonna have 3 years to develop this game. We'd really like it if you came back and, you know, had your opinion, lent some knowledge here to kind of maybe bridge the gap between modern and classics, you know, find a good middle ground. That's what I would do if I was in charge, but I don't know if that would happen. I don't even know if Blundell would be open to that. I don't know the guy. He doesn't really do public interviews. Currently unemployed, though, so if you'd like to come on PAP, if you'd like to come on the podcast, we'd love to have him and chat COD. So, although he's not really under NDA with anybody, I think it'd be awesome to have him emerge. I don't understand how I'm not done with this fucking event either, bro. I feel like I've progressed like 150 rounds. I think the thing we hate, post is new despite being returned to old shit. If it's marketed as sold as remaster, it's more forgivable. Either way, people are still gonna be like, oh, nothing beats the old. I still had to go back to it. It's a very odd dynamic. Shanghai BO1's actually hard compared to BO3. We had Wonder by round 1. Yeah. Yeah. Especially with how horrific the odds were for the baby gun too. least we're really racking the levels up on this gun so I can get this camo. I mean, we're already at 150. I think most people hate the new games in general. I mean, people ask for new and then hate it when they get something new. If it's not done exactly the way they want it, which is unfortunate. I mean, don't get me wrong though, I am ready to see these systems. I think that a hybrid still works, man. Like, obviously, get rid of all the... Like, all this stuff can go, realistically. I don't mind salvage. I don't mind having that be like an upgrade tier for the weapons, but... Find a good middle ground between modern and old mechanics, and I think you've got yourself a pretty solid game. Let's get everyone on PAP. 10,000 person round table. Special 100 episode. Swordfish marksman rifle's not that good. That's what I've heard. I heard it's terrible. I heard it's not better than most weapons in the game. We gotta collect it because I want that 250 camo for the whatever, you know, it's got the chalk drawings and stuff. But they poured a World at War / BO2 remake, it would still get hate 100%, even if it was 1-to-1. They said the movement system, something's not right. Something's not right. I think after this round, I'm gonna check and see where my progress is at. These events are insane for XP, dude. Like, the first half of the track goes by so fast. Map-specific field upgrades, I totally agree. But again, map-specific field upgrades were completely eliminated by Blundell. If you really think about it, if we really go back and be honest about the situation, all of the map-specific field upgrades were just your specialist weapons. They stopped doing those in BO4. That's not a modern thing. Getting a call for potential spam. We're not picking this up. Alright, that's fine. I want to see where we're at anyways. Camo's pretty dope though, especially being free. Yeah. Ether Blade and Reckoning was a step in the right direction, but it was kind of cheeks. It was a step in the right direction, but they didn't really it was so... The thing I didn't like about the Ether Blade is how it didn't connect to anything at all. It was just like a little side questy thing, which is totally fine. But, man. It just didn't do enough for it. Get rid of salvage, armor, crafting table, keep augments, give you back the buildable shield, and instead of field upgrades, give you cool sides. I agree with most of that. I think you can actually have a nice middle ground with the field upgrades. I think you can still have things like Ether Shroud or any of the ones that we have now. Like, you could definitely get away with having all of these, but these would have to be significantly worse than the map-specific field upgrades. Bro, I'm only halfway through this last tier. These need to stop. Like, I don't... These are crazy. Dude, I've put in probably... I put in a lot of time before I left, too. This event came out the day before I left, and I put in, like, 100 rounds then, too. Holy shit. Alright, well... There it is. Yeah, camo is pretty sick. Do I have a save file? I do. Let's just load into this and use the blender so we get what we need done. Planning on but I just want to see how much XP I need to bake in. Planning on your negotiations for an upcoming promotion and performance rate. Should you ask for 200%? Yeah, absolutely. Know your worth, bro. Know your worth. Went to 75 and got the event done. Something's not right about... Something's not right. Something's not right there. I totally agree, though. Confused. No leaks now. Give us the... No leaks is going to give us so much more hype. The event took so much XP. It's crazy donuts. Dude, I don't get... I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. This should be at least a little bit easier now that we've got some perks. I mean, we've got the setup here where I can just run around with this, and I've still got double XP for 7 minutes, dude. It's been an hour. It's been an hour of double XP, and we've gone up half a tier. Yeah, and I'm gonna die here too. Sure, contest, big boys, an OG player refers modern formula. Maybe you can ask him about speedrunning old versus new questions. That'd be good. Is he well spoken? Does he have a good what the hell is going on here? No map equip reloaded updates for the rest of the year. Yep. I'm thinking reloaded updates. And then in season 6, maybe like it'd be so sick to do like a super Easter egg plus the BO7 or BO6 maps added in. That'd be so cool.
Hey, Big Therian. Still knocking around in the old tank noodle? I got questions.
It'll be worth a shot. Okay, cool. I'll talk to Jeff and we'll see what's going on. Most of the event done in your depression adventures in Battle Royale. Trying to get the Primus Dempsey skin that you still don't have. Well, yeah, I mean, the Battle Royale, I mean, you get way more XP in BR than you do in Zombies, so that's half the battle here, but... Probably about 6 weeks till the next map. I bet you we'll get the map name tomorrow or whenever we get the whatever it is, the big fuck. What is it called? Roadmap. There you go.
Why us? Damn. Looks like they called in a hell of a arclight strike.
That ain't bad. Oh. Okay, well yeah, here's the real issue. No stamina up, no speed. Perks are severely lacking here. Who's getting their souls next? Is it Takio and Carver? I was thinking about this last night. Richtofen's like really trying to heavily influence Takio in the voice quotes, especially in the past 2 maps. I wouldn't be surprised if the next map they actually get who's left in the Requiem crew? Weaver and Carver. I wouldn't be surprised if Weaver and Carver got theirs, and then like the map after that, either Richtofen doesn't get his, or like Takio, like I can see them switching up the formula a little bit based on the quotes from Richtofen, like really trying to, because he's like, oh, you know, if we don't get our souls, or we should stick together. Like he's trying to manipulate Takio. So it'd be interesting to see if they switch up the formula based on what the quips. I haven't seen anybody talk about that either. It's very interesting. I mean, if you guys haven't listened to the audio quotes between all the characters' dialogue, I would definitely go look at those videos, because it's really interesting to hear how they all interact with each other. Because most of the time, 1, you're never gonna have 8 players in a game, but 2, I only play solo, so I don't hear a lot of that either. Dr. Grave, new favorite crew member. She's not bad. Richtofen's got a little crush on Gray, I think. Richtofen's got a little crush on Gray. I want to see what they do Ricky and Takio backstory side Easter egg quest. The Richtofen one, I bet you Richtofen's got some dirty shit. Maybe he's like the reason the multiverse even restarted, or that they're all in this predicament is it's because of Richtofen again. You wish we get a new ammo mod if you upgrade perk at the beginning of each season and then reloaded update. There's so many different upgrades and mods and perks they could still make. I don't know. I feel like with the perks, they've gotten so many in this game now. I mean, we already have the most perks we've ever had in a single game, I think. Even with IW, it might be more than that. You should start submitting some applications or some ideas to them in the emails. Like the ship is real for once in this franchise. Maya and Dempsey generally have good chemistry. I could see them not getting together though, unfortunately. Everyone says that they're like fucking, but I don't see it. Will we get extended lore on the Liberty Falls video rentals? Richthofen's a freak, dude. Richthofen's a big freak. In Richthofen and Dempsey love again? I agree. Bring back the Richthofen crush, Dempsey. Gray's kind of badass. How she credit Klaus. I like Gray. Gray's not a bad character. I feel like the characters were a little better in Cold War, which is very weird. Terminus, I thought they were off to I think the voice acting strike just really fucked them. Because they were off to a hot start in Terminus. I thought the way that they handled the lore in Terminus was pretty solid. And after that, it just kind of went downhill. I think BO4 technically is still okay, yeah. BO4 definitely has more perks, but I'm saying like all playable at once. I think we could only get 4 or 8 at most, or maybe it was 10. Look like Gray for the same PJ skin. Come on. Oh shit. Gooner alert. Yeah, Gooner alert spotted. You're either a Warzone demon or you're a Gooner. No in between. Pro self-reported live on air. Come on, man. No in between. Hopefully the next boss fight. Yeah, which is it? Are you a Gooner or are you a Warzone demon? Because like you actually get the pass for being a Warzone demon because that was like the Warzone skin at the beginning of the year last year. Now it's like, tough. Very tough. Hopefully next boss fight's a little harder than the heart challenging, but kind of easy compared to the first two. I agree. I think I like the fluctuation in difficulty and setup and stuff, but yeah, they could definitely do a little harder. Wonder if Widow's Wine is going to work because it's so busted in BO3. I think it could definitely be like a nerfed version and then the augments make it pretty solid. Definitely not a Warzone player? Alright, then you are a Gooner. I have played a good amount of Battle Royale so far, Black Ops Royale. I think I want to do some of that on Saturday. Maybe like an open lobby for the premise Dempsey skin runs. See if we can't get some people some Dempsey skins. Five years goon free, good for you, brother. Good for you. You stay on that. You stay on that path. You her. Holy shit. Bang. Goon free is a huge W. It really is. Warzone demon equals Gooner. Are you wrong? Maybe not. Dude, I just feel like we gotta be getting close to this, man. I might have to throw Rampage. That's what I'll do. Throw a Rampage on. You need a Maya / Misty cosplay skin. Why is Maya the one that gets all the cost? I mean, she was Mr. Peaks last year. She was Scarlet. She's very, very interesting. Oh god, oh god, oh god. I've sold the bag. 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 Just tapped in. What's the intel? How we doing? What's up, Zach? Funny. So they released like a short clip of some zombies with different colored eyes, and this also lines up with one of the recent rumors about there being a new mode coming to the game, which is probably going to be some sort of like PvPvE mode or PvEV mode. Like I think it's going to be like kind of like a Grief-esque sort of vibe. I don't think it'll be Grief, but something like that. But the stuff we got earlier kind of confirms new mode. Maya is the fun, spicy, friends with benefits, and Gray is the wifey life partner you settle down with. I could see it, yeah. Who are you picking though? Are you going for Gray or are you going for Maya? They're not everybody's been cease and desisted though. I think they've just taken care of some of the main offenders. I think there's obviously still a lot going on. Like even the Chinese hackers, like those, that probably won't go away. Maya clears, Maya? Okay. Thinks they're doing new mode, they won't add Grief. It depends on how similar it is to Grief. If it's like Grief reworked, then probably not. But if it's like completely something different, more like a can turn maybe, then yeah, I can see him doing Grief again. Isn't Gray pushing 40? Well, what's wrong with, dude, what's wrong with that? Want to talk science to you? Why is 40 an insult? There's nothing wrong with being 40. Come on, man. You're pushing 50? What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that in my book. No. I don't know about you guys. I mean, it's a personal thing, but there's nothing wrong with that in my book. This is getting unhinged. This is, why does it always get so unhinged in here, guys? Jesus Christ. I can't go one stream without things getting like just ridiculously unhinged. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You find you learn something new every day about somebody, you know? I mean, Jesus Christ. Got issues, man. Got real issues. This is so bad. It always gets this way, dude. It always gets this way. Picking Carver and Weaver sandwich. All right, well, that's the end of the today's stream. Man. Mace, your wife's older than nothing wrong with cougar action. What's the age gap there? Is it really a cougar situation, or is it just kind of a funny thing? It's like, you know, a year or two and you guys joke about it. MC Cougars. We love your podcast, though. All jokes aside. Who said these were jokes? I don't know where we got the insinuation that any of this was any sort of joking. There's no joking going on here. Holy shit. And there goes Dying Wish. For the boys. Twice in your lifetime, beautiful experiences. Ah, you're a lucky man, brother. You're a lucky man. Lucky man. 6 years, not huge to be fair. That's not even bad, dude. That's nothing. 6-year age gap is, I mean, that's pretty normal. Nowadays, people will fry the shit out of you for that, but I don't see what's the problem with that. Learning a lot today about people here. Learning a lot in this fine Tuesday stream of absolute utter XP grind. And we're gonna die if I don't use this now. Get a 30-second pause. No, we're gonna push through it. We're gonna push through this. I didn't know Gray was that old. That kind of puts things in a whole new perspective for me. To be a sicko. Gray is kind of, Gray might swing both ways too. I mean, that's another huge, that's another something going on, you know? I don't know about Maya, but I might be Team Gray. I might be Team Gray now. I might be, you guys, we may have talked me into Team Gray here. I'm gonna be honest. We're uncovering a lot here. 21, 27. That's not bad, dude. You're fine.
I'm here to kick asses. Many asses. Many.
I think I'm full converted. I think I'm full Team Gray. I mean, but the question becomes like, you know, can we bring like Sam into the mix too? Like, what's the story there? You know, like, is there a 2-for-1 discount going on? What's the vibe? What's going on? Nickel for every discussion about age gaps in the zombies community. All right, now that's too unhinged. I'm not. All right, now we're. I don't. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Something's not right here. Getting a little too far off the tracks. Always guys asking about pre-talk, Sam. All right, give it a break. Can we be realistic? I mean, we obviously all know we're talking about Cold War, Sam. Like, come on. Come on. Klaus will sit there and watch. All right, so Team Gray and Sam. But Klaus is the cuck robot is recording in the corner. You got me. I mean, this is a pretty decent time here. This is getting out of hand. This is taking a turn for the worst. A turn for the truth. We're finding a lot out about a lot of people here today. We're finding a lot out about some people here today, guys. This is some Klaus the cuck bot. To be fair, Klaus would probably be a real good cuck. Klaus would probably have like the sassiest shit for you. He'd definitely have no problem critiquing your game. I'll tell you that. Because he's got like Richtofen's personality, and imagine like Richtofen just sitting there giving you the business, you know? But Klaus would have a few things to say if I were to guess. What's bro saying? Now what? Yeah, literally. I'm telling you, Klaus would be a good coach, but he'd also be a good person to just absolutely destroy your confidence. He'd be giving me the calculations on like what percent of the moans are fucking legit and who's faking it. And he'd be like, I'm stepping in. All right, we're done. We're out of here. We're done. All right, we just took a walk. We're calming down. We're moving on. We're back to normal COD discussion. It's been 100 rounds and we still don't have a tier and a half done. We're out of here. Needed a reset. Yeah, guys, this is why you tune into the random Tuesday streams that only last an hour and a half and get just absolutely unlisted the second we get out of here. Plaza back in MP, pretty solid. The Klaus files. Yeah, don't play back Klaus's last 48 hours, all right? This stream is absolutely getting unlisted. This is 100% getting unlisted. Like, this cannot stay public. I might even have to be privated. Too much information has been shared today. Too rapid to get in the works.
Sweet mother of fuck. Someone want to explain to me what the balls is happening?
Yeah, we're privating the stream. This stream won't go on very much longer, and we'll be privating the stream forever. Welcome back, Andrew. Andrew, you missed probably the most one of the most unhinged discussions I think we've ever had, and there's been quite a few of them. I would either go back and watch it now, because I don't this won't be this stream. Something's not right.
Eat it and die, motherfuckers.
Ted picks up clients and workers. Okay, I just dying wished with 2 health. Didn't know that could happen. Hear me out. Ted looks kind of hot. Wait, Ted looks kind of hot.
That sucked serious.
Hold on. This guy. This guy right here. You want that looking in your eyes? All right, that's enough for today.